Hello. Kevin here. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. It is Thursday. That means it's time for me to make another one of these videos, one of these things here on the main channel where I just talk at you for some period of time. Although I think I probably need to start devoting more time into making somewhat higher quality, more effort requiring stuff on this channel, because man, it seems like I'm pushing a fair number of people away. I looked at the last video, only about 1% of subscribers, like 1.02% of subscribers were watching it, which means maybe it's time for me to switch things up. Maybe we're getting into a bit of a rut. But anyway, that's not for today. That's for future Kevin to have to worry about, think about, plan for whatever's going forward. Today, I want to talk about, now I had stuff written down, but I'm not going to talk about any of that. I want to talk about one thing and one thing only, because I need to address the elephant in the room, which is me, and specifically my weight. Need to get this off my chest and my ass and my thighs and every other part of my body, because is weighing me down. So I have not talked a lot about my weights for the past year or so, mainly because it hasn't been good news. I was losing weight a little, about a year ago. Man, it feels weird to think that was a year ago, but I was losing weight. I went down maybe 30 pounds, which was fantastic. I started to feel good. I was exercising, I was meditating, I was doing all that wonderful stuff. Everything was going great. And then I sort of fell off the wagon. Not in an alcohol sense, just in a lifestyle sense, I guess. So since then, not been doing the best job, and particularly after moving for a while, I was not cooking stuff, so I was eating either unhealthy gas station stuff or delivery food or whatever, delivery pizza, which you can't get like a single person delivery order worth of pizza. So I was like, well, there's this whole pizza here. That's delicious. We'll eat that. And let's get some breadsticks too, because it's like a complimentary free breadsticks with the thing. Anyway, all of this culminates in me hitting my worst weight ever. Yeah, it's a high score. It's a high score. You ready? So on July 19th of this year, Kevin Geesey was 371 pounds. 371.1 pounds. I don't want to round down. I want this to be as dramatic a number as it could be. And as much as I'm trying to make jokes and trying to be cheery and upbeat about this sucks. It's bad. It's not a good thing. It's on me, right? It's not like, oh no, this is a thing that happened to me. No, this is a thing that I caused to happen. This is a thing that I continue to cause to happen. Now, since then, I have been doing, I haven't particularly been working on it. I have been meal prepping over the past 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. So I had one week where I just prepped one meal a day, then I switched up to prepping breakfast and lunch a day, and last week I prepped all 3 meals for the week. So last week I ate only the pre-prepped meals that I cooked on Sunday prior. So I've been basically frying up some chicken and broccoli and rice, and I've been making some beef stroganoff stuff with some changes to the recipe so that it's not super crazy. And then doing this, like these breakfast egg muffin things, tracking the calories and tracking the nutrients, the macros, and all of the blah blah blah. I just want to be. I should probably say right off the bat, if you have diet advice, please keep it to yourself. It's not like, I understand that everything comes from a very well-meaning place, but man, the problem with, and it's like a big societal problem, is that there's no way to know if what you're suggesting is accurate. There's no way like that. It takes so much effort to research all this stuff, and everybody has different opinions, and there's so much information out there saying this is good, this is bad. It's one of those weird issues that's just kind of, because diet is an industry, it's just, there's no way, there's no consensus, there's no way to figure out what's right or wrong. So if what works for you, then that's fantastic. And if you're able to help other people with it, then that's great. Me, I'm just trying what I can. I'm not trying anything in particular. I'm just trying to cut back. I'm trying to be a bit healthier. So since then, now I'm down to 359 pounds. So that's 12 pounds down from where I was in a few weeks. Still, that doesn't mean anything because my weight fluctuates so much. But in particular, it's gotten worse recently because a couple of things. So I've had kind of minor situational back pain since I was in high school. I used to work as a pianist at this singing waitstaff restaurant, where basically the waitstaff would go ahead and serve stuff, and then whenever they had some downtime, they'd come up and they'd sing a song. And my job was to sit down at the piano and then just play, and then transition into the song that they were singing, and then continue playing. And basically, I'd show up at like 4:30, and I'd play from, we'd open at 5, or sometimes let people in early, and we'd close at 10. And so I would just play the piano for 5 hours most of the days of the week. I can't remember exactly what the schedule was, but a lot of the days of the week. And then I would go home. Now, I did discover that basically sitting on a piano bench doing this the whole time eventually really started to do a number on my back to the point that it would get really painful. I had to start taking like 10-minute breaks. Now, granted, back in high school, I was large, but I was nowhere near this size. I don't know. I think I was 280 pounds, something like that. So it was still way too large, but not a black hole. Anyway. So back pain. Then I got to this, and so that's always been kind of a thing, is I occasionally have back pain. I got much larger in college, and recently, I don't know if I talked about this on video before, I may have. I ended up screwing up my ulnar nerve, which is your funny bone, in my left arm. I'm not exactly sure what it is that I did to set it off, but I had probably about a month where I had lost about a fair bit of sensation in my fingers, which was really irritating because I was trying to play the piano again, and oh look, I can't feel it anymore. That was terrifying because it's a big part of my life. It was also really hard to type for a while. I had about a week where I was trying to just type with just the one hand, and I was trying to look at experimental other single keyboard layouts and trying to figure out all this stuff. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything wrong. There's no like super non-ergonomic thing that I'm doing, and I'm treating my arm a lot better now, and the sensation has come back. Although I still, when I'm playing the piano and stuff, I will occasionally, it will still get not quite, just like a very light pain, which is scary and aggravating. The body is just like, basically what I think is happening is it's just that there is no more space in this arm. This is just entirely fat. Like if cannibalism were okay, this would be the way to go. That's where my mind goes to. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, so that's been happening. I've been kind of just reminded now when I sit down and play the piano, which is generally something I do to relieve stress. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're fat and your body doesn't work right because of that. Basically, if I lost some weight, there'd be a lot more room for things like nerve endings and veins and bones and whatever the heck else is supposed to be in the body instead of just wall of fat. So anyway, I've been doing this meal prep thing, and this past Sunday, I get up in the morning and I go, okay, Kevin, all you have to do today is prepare these 21 meals. So it's three meals a day, 7 days. That's all you have to do. You can take all day to do it. Doesn't matter. That's entirely fine. But you need to get this done. So I'm making my chicken broccoli rice. I'm making my stroganoff, and then I'm just putting the eggs in the baking trays, the muffin trays, and baking them for 20 minutes and pull them out. So first thing that I do is I go and I take a look at the cast iron grill pan that I've been using to grill the chicken, and I realized I hadn't quite cleaned it enough, and so I go, okay, well, I'm going to boil some water in it, kind of make sure that I'm able to clean up after that. So I pour like 6 cups of water in this grill pan, and I pick up the grill pan with hot pan holder things, and then I turn around to go to the sink to dump out the water because it's boiled and some of the crusties are coming off. I'm like, okay, good, I can just rinse this off. It'll be great. And I turn around, and so there's this kitchen, there's the stovetop, and if you turn around, there's the kitchen island with the sink. So it's all I have to do is turn around and take a step, and then just dump out the pan. I turn around, I take a step, and then my back just completely gives out. Just like agonizing, stinging pain. Because I was carrying 10 pounds of stuff, and apparently 10 pounds is now just too much for my body to handle now. My back just can't do it. I mean, granted, it's probably just like I was lifting with my arm. I don't know. I was carrying it the wrong level. I don't know. Barely managed to just dump out the water and then just go lie down, which still hurt like hell. So I tried lying on my stomach. That hurt like hell too. And, so you can't breathe as a fat guy if you lie on your stomach. Lying on my side still hurt. Like there was nothing, just my body didn't want me to sit, stand, or lie down in any position. And I was like, I don't know what the correct I don't know what the correct thing to do here is. And it's better. My back is better now. It's not great, but I did manage to finish cooking up my meals. And then just a little bit ago, just like a half hour ago before I started recording this, I was making tea. I was going to bring it in here. I was going to record this, and I go to pour tea, and I realized, oh God, one of my knees is starting to give out. So that's not good. So I'm 360 pounds. What I need to be is half of that. And then maybe I could lose some weight from there. Maybe. I don't know. But I should be 180 pounds. That's like the high side of okay for a 6-foot person. That's a lot. That is a very imposing task. And it's made more difficult by the fact that the body is so good at substituting, at using a dopamine rush to subsume pain. Basically, if I were to just get a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, my leg wouldn't hurt. Because my body would just be like, oh my God, this stuff is so delicious. I'm just going to focus on that. Be completely distracted by the fact that food is delicious. I've never had good eating habits. It's just never been, I've always been racing around between things. When I was driving, it was drive-through all the time. When I was in New York, it was delivery food all the time. Or I'd run down and get something, but it's not, I was never cooking stuff. Because I felt like, one, the place is too small, but then I don't have the time, blah, 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 blah. This solution to meal prep is a very, very good one for me. And in fact, would have worked just fine in New York if I'd have just bothered. Because I'm able to just get all the ingredients on one day, cook everything up, freeze most of it, refrigerate some of it, and then just pop it in the microwave, and then just cycle stuff out every day. And then it's no longer a choice. It's no longer the decision every single meal, or every time you get hungry to go like, well, what am I doing for today? Well, I can think about this or that or the other thing. Now it is not that. Now food is not something. Now meals are things that are tied to specific times, and it's never a question of, I wonder. It's never a craving for a particular type of food because I'm just eating the same thing every day. I'm not mixing up. I could do fancier meal prep and try and switch up the meals, but I don't care to. I don't want to continue to fetishize food. I want food to just be like that thing that has to happen to not die, and that's it. I don't know. I was really... It's really frustrating though to be here and trying... But I'm not exercising like I should. I'm not even walking anywhere near as much as I should. I go outside, and after 5 minutes, my clothes are just drenched in sweat, and everything is chafing and pain, and it's just why. Granted, at my weight, the exercise is not a huge thing. It's going to be way easier for me to lose a bunch of weight and then start exercising a lot than it is for me to try and do everything in balance now. Not to say I'm going to try and avoid exercise, but that's less of a concern. But I know that I'll sleep better. It's that's it's the thing that I think maybe my experience is different from most people, but I don't think it is. But I think the thing that we completely ignore, the big way that we address obesity culturally is talking about fat shaming. And this is not to demean people who deal with that, but man, it is like 1% of the horribleness that is being this. And I'm sure it's different for everybody. But man, for me, like, yes, it's rough being my size, though, to be honest, it's rarely that other people ostracize me or make fun of me. It's more that I just deliberately don't put myself in social situations. It's like, I'm just going to be a sweaty, smelly person. Like, what if I accidentally sweat on you? Like, maybe I should just avoid being in the same room as people. I'm just going to be in my little habitat here until I can get my act together. That's the other thing. So there's that. There's the isolation that's self-imposed, which is big. There's the guilt over it. The knowing that this is as much as, sure, I don't know. Maybe there are genetic factors. Maybe there are health factors. Maybe the Keppra medication, which theoretically has a side effect of weight. Maybe I don't know. Maybe a lot of things. It doesn't even matter though, right? Like, it doesn't matter because the choice is, what food do I put on my face? And those predetermining factors, they may make it difficult to make the right decisions. They may mean that I have to eat less than other people. They may mean that my metabolic syndrome something is all shot. I don't know. It doesn't change the fact that I still have to make choices that are going to put me in a better state or kill me. Those are the choices now. My body is under protest, right? Like, it's not willing to be the size that I am right now. It's had enough. And I can't say I blame it. But it's the guilt about that. The knowing that even though it is counterproductive to constantly blame yourself, or to just think about all the poor decisions that you made, it's something that you do, and something you need to work on letting go. And then there's the guilt about feeling guilty. I'm also really hungry. Now, I'm not hungry right now. I feel like food for no good reason, which doesn't help. That's the thing, is that, yeah, it would be so much easier. Like, if I could just, it would be so much easier to just be comfortable with being an invalid. I mean, I've had 2 extended family members die because of complications related to obesity. Like, I've seen them just get themselves into wheelchair states, and really kind of ruin their lives and isolate themselves and 360 pounds, man. That is a big number. And that's a number where you start Googling like large celebrities. You're like, oh man, that celebrity guy was really funny. You're like, John Candy, he was a funny guy, and he died when he was, right after dropping a bunch of weight, but he was very large for a long time. And you're like, oh man, he wasn't even my size. Oh God. Like, there aren't, this is a problem. This isn't, this isn't funny obesity. This is get help obesity. And man, 180 pounds. They say that healthy weight loss is what, 2 pounds a week? So 2 years. It'll take 2 years for me to be a large, to be on the high end of normal for my height. I don't know. I'm sure that there's some like, it's not like I have to wait and then all of a sudden, like, oh, I'll start sleeping better and then I can walk for more than a quarter of a mile without getting winded. And I'm sure it'll all be a gradual improvement, but oh man. I guess what I really want to say is don't let yourself get to this place. I think I have the reverse of body dysmorphia. Because I look at the numbers now and I look at like, oh man, I should have picked up on that this was a problem sooner. This is not just some mere like, oh, I need to start, developing better savings habits. I need to stop shopping so much. I need to not spend so much time surfing Amazon. This is this is an emergency because otherwise you're going to die. But of course that never seems real, right? Because like it's you. So that's not, you have never died. You're not the type of person who dies. And you're not the type of person who's not, I don't know. There's so much just sort of internal, and I know that so much stuff is tied up into this. I know that my issues with just anger and irritability, and my issues with anxiety, and my issues with depression, my issues with just insomnia and not sleeping, it's all tied up in this. Not to get all kind of new age and stuff, but like it's a single system that I'm trying to optimize, right? Like this whole body mind complex thing. Like in general, an improvement in any area is going to be an improvement for everything. But that is the thing. It's not the shame. It's not the shame so much that other people put on you. I think the important thing is that when we look at issues of fat shaming, it seems it gets blown into this big issue. But the reality is that it's very rarely the fact that there's some external voice saying something mean. It's that there's some external voice that says something mean on top of, oh my God, so many internal voices saying so many horrible, miserable stuff that you, external bad fat shaming person, have just validated and made that much louder. So we have this disproportionate response, I guess. Because it's really not, if, people say things that are mean or that they don't think through, it can be completely unintentional, but man, it can really destroy people because we are being a very obese person is just being a time bomb. There's so much. It's so much to carry around. Ha, puns. Oh man. I'm really ready to not be this anymore. I'm supposed to say something positive now. I don't know quite what to say. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm operating at a calorie deficit, and I'm getting all my nutrients and my macros and my micros, and I'm doing a good job. It just doesn't feel that way. And I just have to continue this for a very, very, very long time. And then theoretically things should be good. Just gonna have to wait a very, very long time. And yeah, it's really terrifying in the meantime. But thank you, those of you who've been commenting and stuff. I know the views are starting to tail off, which does make me think that probably these videos are getting a little bit monotonous, and so I might try and change things up depending on, I don't know, whether I'm able to stand up next week. Who knows? Maybe I'll discover, oh yeah, I wake up and I don't have a right arm anymore. That's just the next thing that goes. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, I hope that you're doing well. I hope you're having a good week, and I hope you have a great weekend. Cheers.